Meredith. That is such a beautiful song. And it's so appropriate for the times that we go through now. Because if we keep our eye on God, all is well. And that's the whole key, I think, the message of today. The title, before we even knew all the things that were happening when we put this newsletter up and Cindy got the services and everything, the service for today was transformation, and then she goes, what are you going to do? And I said, I'm going to say, be here now. Because when we are be here now, when we're aware now, that's when we can consciously participate in our transformation. And that's the key, because we are a unique soul. And as we walk through life, the experiences that we have free that imprisoned soul. So it's very powerful to keep our eye on God, to know that we are a soul, we're here on a soul journey, and all is well. Even when we can't see it or understand it, if thine eye be single, our body will be light. So that's where we're going to go today, and I'm glad you're here, and we're glad we're here. We've got a wonderful team, and I love these guys. So last Sunday, Easter Sunday, boy, that seems like such a long time ago. I mean, a year almost. I don't know what's happening with time, but it seems like such a long time ago. But on Easter Sunday, we celebrate the greatest gift that Jesus gave us. He gave us that grand demonstration of our ultimate transformation. Our ultimate transformation, to begin to allow our spirit freedom as we walk out of one world into another, as we walk out of the world of matter and begin to participate in the consciousness of spirit, to be that true son of God, that daughter of God, creator in our world. God is spirit and God and I are one. This is the ultimate teachings of Jesus. And now with that ultimate demonstration for our transformation, it's our turn. It's our turn. And I think that's kind of been missed a lot through the ages because we have to do it. It's not one person doing it for the whole. It's we are individual expressions of God, and it's our turn. It's our time to begin to transform. And I think that's the teachings that Jesus was given to us, It's not I, but the Father within who doeth the works. So within us, when we're walking through any trial or tribulation or any experience in life, we can rest on the truth, the authority. It's the Father within who does the works, who speaks the words. So today, as we look out at our world, we stand on the precipice of change. Our world is in transition. And as our world's in transition, we are in transition. And it's important for us to be conscious and awake. And as we are awake and conscious now, we can be aware that the choices that we make today are creating tomorrow. The choices we make today are creating our future. The choice is ours. We choose that our choices be love-based and ever expanding with spiritual awareness, with that awareness of oneness with God? Or will they be fear-based and keep us separate from God and keep us in victim consciousness? And I think that as we begin to grow and expand and wake up to the truth of who we really are, everyone seeks that freedom more and more and more. The freedom to just be, the freedom to express the unique gifts that we all bring to share. So it is time the world is changing, and it's time for us to change. Consciousness, our functioning level of awareness, our functioning level of awareness. As we become aware that we are the sons, the daughters of God, that we're spiritual beings, then it's ours, it's our turn, our turn. Jesus took his turn and did it spectacularly awesome. And now it's our turn to function at that level. He functioned at the level that he knew God and I are one. And then he said, it's not I, but the Father within who do these works. And ever being the teacher puts his hand out or around our shoulder and says, these things I do, you can do these and even greater things. So it's our turn. But we have to be consciously aware of who we are. And once we begin to be aware of who we are, then we can be who we are. The highest teachings of God were from the heart. Jesus took us into our heart to show us that the Father resides within our heart. That as we go into our heart, we begin to touch that heavenly consciousness. And as we touch it and become aware of it and express it, we can begin to create heaven on earth. We can begin to transform ourselves now and really consciously participate in the transformation that's happening on planet Earth. God and man are one, and that expressing this love, we begin to enter and walk the path to Christ. Christ is love. Being conscious is a choice. Being conscious is a choice. We all like to have alarm clocks that wake us up in the morning. But some people don't need alarm clocks. They can set their mental alarm clock or their heart alarm clock and say, I want to wake up at this time. They're consciously participating in the amount of rest or sleep they want at night. And they're saying, I want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I want to get up at 6 in the morning. Some people need the alarm clock going off. And then this outer energy and outer stimulus is coming to them to begin to wake them up. Okay, time to get up, time to get on with it. Well, when we're conscious, what we do is we begin to wake ourselves up and we begin to know what's ours to do. We don't need people to tell us what to do all the time because we've got the greatest guide and teacher within our heart. And as we begin to look there first, to be conscious of the presence of God within us and walk, our life changes. And then the life on planet Earth changes. So being conscious is a choice. Being conscious is a choice. To bring God awareness to every aspect of life. To bring God awareness into every aspect of our life. And we have to be awake to see that, don't we? This morning, I got up at 6 this morning. I get my alarm clock, you wake up at 6 every morning. We have one that goes off, but I'm always up when it goes off. I wake up, and so I went downstairs and I was preparing, finishing up on this talk. And I always like to go outside, so I walked out the front door, and we face east. And so it was about 6:30 when I went out there, and the sun was below the horizon, but it was this beautiful orange sky that was coming up. And it's like, coming through the trees, and it's like the sky's on fire behind the trees. It's like, I goes, man, this is going to be a beautiful sunrise. I can't wait, And so I would keep going back, and 7:30, the orange is getting lighter and lighter, and the sky is getting grayer and grayer. And by the time the sun rises, there wasn't any orange. So I'm just saying thank you that I got to see that orange sky. But see, to just be aware, and I say, thank you, God. Thank you. I'm out just say, thank you, God, for this color. I love the energy of orange. It's so joy-filled and enthusiastic. So I'm appropriating this energy into my body at 6:30, 6:45 in the morning. I say, thank you, God. We're presented with gifts every day. The gift of life is such a a gift that if we just pay attention, we can see. Here in Georgia, it's springtime, and it is the most awesome, spectacular time of the year here. And right now, all the woods and forests are filled. The leaves are all out on the trees. So where you used to be able to see through, now it's just this big old buffer of green, healing green. And then, of course, the dogwoods and azaleas are blooming and the flowers are coming up. And it's just really a beautiful time. And to take the time to spend some awareness with nature, with God expressing through nature. Be here now. To take the time to smell a rose, a lilac, a gardenia. These gifts are before all of us, and it's our choice. It's our choice to be conscious, and it's a wonderful choice. Isn't it cool that we live in a free will universe, that we have choice? But if we're not awake, how much choice do we have? If we're not awake, how much choice do we have? So we can choose to be awake. The songs today, a living possibility, how cool is that? To begin to see ourselves as that living possibility. Living right now, not down the road, and I'm not looking back. Right now, be here now. I am going to be the living possibility now. And once we adopt that, the love grows in our hearts, and then it comes up and shines through our eyes. So as we go forth life, maybe when we pass people, we could look into their eyes. I asked to see your light. I asked you, and said, the light will start coming out of their eyes, from their heart. And it's just consciously participating. This is my brother, my sister. We're all here together, one. But we can connect with that one through the individual. And it's a beautiful gift to be aware. And this is how we can bring God awareness to every aspect of our life. Through nature, the people we meet, what we're doing. The simple statement, it's not I, but the Father within who doeth the works. Isn't that bringing God awareness into our life? And those are easy words to say. And when we go into our heart and begin to touch and feel our true essence, they begin to be easier and easier to express. So, living in the now, being fully engaged and present, aware of the choices we make. Being fully aware and present, knowing the choices that we make. To move beyond, did I do that? To smile and go, I did that. It's a whole new paradigm to begin to walk through life, and it's the gift of awareness. I don't think being on automatic pilot is being conscious. We've all experienced automatic pilot, haven't we? You know what? And I think when we push that automatic pilot button, it will make us maybe feel safe to a degree, or it'll give us a familiar experience. But what also happens is we miss the magic of each moment. We miss the magic of each moment, and that's what consciousness can bring us. If we're on automatic pilot, we're in the past or we're in the future. We're not here. We're not in the present. And the present is where it's real. The thoughts we hold unfold. So if we want to create something new, we've got to be in the present. What is the now telling me, showing me, allowing me to experience? And from that information, make a choice. Now we can make a choice. Not predicated on past behavior, logic, reason. Not based on a dream down the road. But what choice do I have right now? And you know what? When we begin to choose from the now, we'll begin to experience a greater degree of peace. Because we won't be in judgment, we won't be in expectation. We'll be in the now. So we don't want to miss the magic of the moment And that's what being aware is and being awake is. You know, we talk about the New Age and the age of Aquarius, and they're very neat concepts and words and all that. But what does that really mean? The age of Aquarius is the age of spiritual enlightenment. The age of spiritual enlightenment. Okay. So in the age we live in now with spiritual enlightenment, that means we're becoming more spiritually aware of who we are, the thoughts that we're holding are different thoughts, maybe more elevated thoughts, connected with God more, connected with Spirit more. And we all know that we create with thoughts. So do you think the world is supposed to look like it's always looked in the Aquarian age? If we create with thought? Do you think it's going to be the same? And do you think the world's going to give us the same experience? You see, we've entered into this new age. We've clicked up to another vibrational frequency, another level of awareness, and now to begin to function at that next level. To move into our sonship, daughtership, creatorship, and to walk out of victimhood, out of less than, out of being imprisoned in matter, in form. So the age of Aquarius, what a beautiful time. And we can choose. We can choose to live by these new tenets or not. See, we can be awake. Oh, wow, this is a new age. I've got all new possibilities. I can be the creator. We got to be in the present and the now to begin to walk that walk. Because you know what? In the back, in the past, is all those memories of the less thans and the failures and everything. In our class, I'm teaching on Saturday, we were talking about Jesus, and he's getting ready, he's starting his ministry, and he says, you know, a prophet is not recognized in his home, in his city, his home city and everything. And the reason is because people would see him as he grew up there. Oh, Jesus, that's Mary and Joseph's son. Yeah, doesn't she live down on Marmion Way, you see? And so their memory and their idea of who Jesus is comes from the past. And you know how they wanted to see him now? Jesus, do a miracle for us. You're doing them every place else. Come on, we're your home. Please, please, please do a miracle for me. I said, no. Jesus, the Christ, doesn't do miracles on command. The Christ comes forth when someone's heart is opened and asks to feel, to be, to heal. Then that Christ energy comes forth now, not predicated on the past or the future, right now, to be conscious right now, to be conscious as we petition God now. What do we really want to experience? Eye hath not seen nor hear the glories that God has for us. Completely new age. Our consciousness is the substance of our world. Our consciousness is the substance of our world. We say we create with thought in this dimension. As a man thinketh. So as we become aware and choose higher thoughts now. I'm going to choose to see myself in a new light. I'm going to choose to see life in a new light. I'm going to choose to experience a new way of living. Consciousness is a choice. We create with consciousness. What will this world look like when we start creating from our spiritual consciousness? You see, that's the beauty that lies before us. As beautiful as our planet is, as beautiful as this day is today, we're in constant evolution. Things are always getting better. To begin to take the step forward, to begin to keep our vision high, allows us to be open to that good of God expressing. To develop our spiritual consciousness will allow us to relinquish our dependence on the external world of form. Wow, isn't that a really good statement? To develop our spiritual consciousness will allow us to relinquish our dependence on the external world of form. And don't we say this world is a world of illusion? Spirit creates matter. Man got trapped in matter. And now, as we develop our spiritual consciousness, we free that imprisoned soul from the past memories and judgments and hurts. To be free. And that's an innate quality within spirit, to be free. To be free as the wind. And no one will know where we go or where we came from. To be free as the wind. Spiritual consciousness. And so we will relinquish our dependence on the external world of form and place our faith in God. The awareness of God's grace. You see? We can look at our world, and the majority of the world's faith is based on matter. Where are your treasures stored? So as we begin to look, we're in this big wake-up call on our planet now. Wow. What's really important to me? Do I want to be free? Do I want to be able to express my uniqueness? Or do I want to just survive? This is our consciousness expressing our awareness. I think it was last week, Cindy and I went to our little country mall, and there's a Lowe's and a Target. So we went to Lowe's to buy some flowers and stuff. And then we wanted to go to Target to get something. And so we were walking through Target. And I looked down this aisle, and it was the toilet paper towel aisle. And if most people know, you look down those, and it's like an empty alley. And so I looked down there, and there's toilet paper on one side and paper towels on the other. It wasn't full, but there was a lot there. And I was so happy. And this is so simple. I'm a simple person, I guess. I was so happy that there was toilet paper or paper towels for the person who needed them. Because I didn't need them. I got enough. I didn't need to buy some to, be a hoarder. How's that? But I was just so happy that there was toilet paper, because I know there's somebody's needing it. And their last boat, let's go to Target. And they go there, and there's toilet paper on the shelf for them. It's such a simple pleasure. But to begin to understand, we can be happy that we could participate in that happiness that someone had instead of buying another package to put in a garage. You see? And it's a different way of knowing that God is our source in all things. When we need anything, if we go to God first, see, God is our source in all things, we're going to get it. We'll either find it or somebody else will give it to us. It's a paradigm shift that we can begin to make in our life. But we got to be conscious. We have to choose that. I choose God as my source. So God awareness. God is experienced only in proportion as God is expressed. God is experienced only in proportion as God is expressed. Whose choice is that? Ours. collective, ours, it's my choice. I choose to experience God. I choose to experience love. Oh, here, what do I have to do? I've got to start giving love. I've got to start being love. You see? Because God is love. So we can wish and hope and even pray to God. But if we don't have the love of God expressing, you see? That's that hollow bell ringing. God is experienced in proportion to as much as God is expressed. Love is experienced in proportion that we express love. And love is in our hearts. To be conscious of the Father within, the Christ within, the love I am within. Frees us from matter. Frees us from form. Because we are spirit. We are spirit. And we may have chosen this form to navigate this third dimensional density, but it's not who we are. And we can love our form, but we want to remember who we are. We are spirit. And all of our brothers and sisters are spirit. As we allow love to flow from within ourselves to all of life, we will begin to experience oneness with life and oneness with God. Simple steps that we can take is to begin to live from our heart, to create with awareness, to be here now. Be here now. To be reborn in love daily. Recognize God in all. Be still. Be still and receive. Be still and know. Let's go within. So let's just close your eyes for a moment and just breathe that gentle breath. And as you breathe in, I just want you to breathe with awareness. Breathe and feel your body receiving now. And then as you exhale, feel your body letting go. And now I want you to breathe with intention. Breathe in God's love. And as you breathe in God's love, feel your whole body receiving God's love. And then as you exhale, just allow God's love to cleanse the temple, to remove all that's less than loving, all that limits. So just breathe in God's love and feel God's love. And just allow for the transformation. Breathing and being God's love made manifest. And so you breathe in God's love freely and receive God's freely. And then as you exhale, just allow God's love to flow through you freely. Receiving love freely, giving love freely. Our natural state. I now choose to be a channel of God's love. I now ask that God's love flow to me and through me and out into my world and out into the world. And I ask for the highest blessing, the highest good of all of life. So just breathe and feel your radiant center of love expanding and expressing out, filling the room you're in now, moving beyond your space out into the world. And we send this love out to be a blanket of love for all of life. And Father, we know that you're with us always. And that as we ask, it's being done now. So breathe and feel. Know how loved you are. Know the love that you are. Gently wiggle your toes and fingers and gently open your eyes. As we go forth this week, let's all choose to be awake. And as we're walking anywhere and we approach someone, let's look into their eyes and ask to see their light. And I guarantee you, their light will shine. Yea, God.